but it feels like there's more DQs on some of these infractions this year than in years past. Briscoe, Busch, et cetera, Logano, Freeze. Is that good or bad? Does it matter even, or is that a good that NASCAR's cracking down?
No, I mean, it certainly got to be fair to everyone. I had a race win taken away, so yeah, we want it one for all for sure, and whatever it is, whatever the infraction, whatever it says in the book is what the penalty should be leveled. It should be negotiated up or down or anything like that, just by the book.
And I ask this: is it if it's becoming too much necessarily? Does it create a bad perception or anything, one way or?
Not really. I mean, it's just teams are trying to find any edge that they can with the next gen car because you're boxed in so many areas that you just try to find any advantage, and it's just a game of can you get caught or not.
There you go.
Tonight's event certainly highlights the pit crews, and that's something that you put a tremendous amount into over the last couple of years. How have you seen that group develop into what they're able to do with your 2311 guys, and just what all that you've done to make it? Because you can put resources in, but it's still not going to guarantee success.
No, it doesn't. But to have two teams in the top 8 or so of rankings is really good. One being with the fastest time ever last week with the 23. The work and the research and all the stuff that we're putting in is certainly paying off, and it's not like tonight where they have an opportunity to do it when the lights are the brightest.
And when you started it was Josh was originally a tire carrier. You moved him up to coaching. He had not done any coaching before, and now I know he's moved up the chain. But that seemed like kind of a risk to take somebody without coaching to do that. Yeah. When you look back at that, why did that work? Why was that risk worth it? And how it's worked so well? Because that's not a typical way to do it.
Yeah, I think it's because there's something to be said about coaches that have lived that the moment and understand maybe their physical attributes doesn't allow them to do it anymore, but they know what the fast guys are doing. There's things, other drivers that I see that are a little faster, but I'm not able to replicate that. But if you can train guys to start from the ground up to optimize their skill, then I think it shows you can really have a good top end. You can really get there. So I just think that hiring him was the first key, and since then we've really done really well with our strength and conditioning of our guys, making sure they're peaking at the right time. So it takes a lot of work, and I knew that it was going to take a while, but we're starting to see the fruits of it.
And one last thing is Larson crashed at Indy today, walked away, and they were trying to get the car ready to go back out before the session ended. He said in his interview, he's like, hey, I get over things pretty quickly, and that's just the way it's got to be, and we'll be fast, we'll be fine tomorrow. How challenging is that for a driver to go and say that, or even to believe that? I know you guys go through that enough, so maybe it becomes easier, but just the idea you can hit the wall in a high-profile situation, get out and say, I'm going to get over this, even though it sets our team back, and we're going to be fine. How tough is it?
It's really hard. I mean, certainly you wreck in any circumstance. I typically would take a little longer to get back up to speed. I think if there's anybody that can brush it off and just go back out there with the same, I'm going to enter this corner the exact same as I did previous, and I'm going to live with the result, it'd probably be Kyle.
Denny, when you look at the Hall of Fame voting, obviously you don't have a vote, but this upcoming Tuesday, Kurt Busch, he's got a really strong possibility of getting in. What he's meant to your organization, and you just look back on his career, what makes him Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, I just think his ability to perform at every race team, every manufacturer, I think he won with all of them. He just was really good at what he did. And the biggest change that I noticed is that when we brought him over to 2311, it's just he made everyone else better. I think he made Bubba quite a bit better. He got that 45 team off the ground and really changed the culture there. So I just, we certainly were very grateful to have him as part of our team. And unfortunately, the end of his career ended there. But we still instill things that Kurt, liked and wanted his race team to be run like. Still to this day, we use those same codes.
If we're not, doing the run what you brung style package or the option tire, and we've had $1 million of the winner since I think 2003. Do we need to reimagine what the All-Star race is, or is there still some life in the current philosophy of it?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know how we stack up to other sports as far as how does their All-Star weekends, from a ratings perspective, equal to what a regular season game is, right? Feel like ours is pretty much the same. It's a normal race weekend. Certainly the purse could get updated with the times. And if you don't win it, really financially is not a great deal for us to come here. So it's a bit challenging as far as that's concerned, but it's really hard to, I think if there's any sport that can, get the most out of its teams and players in an all-star format. Like, other leagues worry about injuries. We don't really have that problem when it comes to, we're going to put it all on the line for this specific moment, right? We're doing it. We might make some silly moves on the track, but we're not moving, taking our intensity from 100 to 80 because we're fearing injury. So I think if any sport can make an all-star weekend work, certainly I think ours has got the best chance.
Have you ever talked to Matt or anybody with the Speedway or anybody with this race about why the purse has not moved? Because last time it's been $1 million since 2003. And you would think that over 20 some years that it would increase.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense. Like,
no, it doesn't. But I don't know. It's probably a NASCAR and SMI thing. I'm really not sure.
I didn't know if you were.
By the way, for inflation, that's 1.7 million now.
Okay. All right.
I looked that up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can see through the promotions, they don't bolster it as much. I mean, to win $1 million, you could also finish like third in a normal PGA event. So it's like, it's more about trying to showcase the best, and that's even got watered down a little bit over time. Like it used to be just the open winner, and now it's like you can be first or second place. Like we've just added a little bit too much to it, and I think sometimes a smaller number with more elite is better.
Danny, can you talk a little bit about the 600 next week? I mean,
This is Custom Patch Hats. But what makes us custom? Well, that actually begins with you. We're just bringing your unique vision to life. No knockoffs, no lookalikes. Your design is one of a kind. We know hats, we know design, and we know quality. The proof? It's in our production. Hand-stitched with precision and care, with brands you know and trust. A one-of-a-kind patch deserves a one-of-a-kind treatment, all the way to your doorstep. It's how we keep it custom.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Come back soon for more great racing videos. And if you like us, make sure to hit that subscribe button.